Welcome everyone, Dylan Jamela here today with a brand new video for you. So today what I'm going to do is discuss gynecomastia surgery and most notably my experience with it. So I never got gynecomastia from steroid use, okay? It's a puberty thing, kind of run on my dad's side of the family, unfortunately. You know, my grandpa, my dad, his brother. I mean, it's just something that a lot of people deal with as they're growing up, and it's completely out of your control. Now, the leaner that I've been over the years, it was less noticeable, but you could still tell, and mentally for me, it was just, it's one of those things that it can really weigh on you mentally. The physical aspect alone is dangerous enough, you know, if you have elevated estrogen levels. Now, if you just have it and you're born with it, it doesn't necessarily mean you're walking around with dangerous levels of estrogen. But if you develop it from steroid use and you have high levels, it's obviously a dangerous thing, and we know that. But the mental aspect and the psychological aspect is also troublesome. It can cause people to be depressed. It can just make you uncomfortable in several situations. It's something that you know is there, right? And this is speaking to anybody that's had it, whether it's from steroid use or without steroid use. Finally, after years and years of dealing with it, and this was now roughly about almost 5 years ago that I had the surgery done, I had basically had enough, and financially I was in a little better position to do it as well, because that's obviously an issue since insurance is likely not going to cover this. So really, I mean, basically what I did was I found the very best plastic surgeon in Las Vegas, because that's where I was living at the time, and went in for a consultation to figure out exactly how much the cost was, the procedure, etc. Now, they give you different options in terms of the procedure, and some surgeons will give you options on payment, like they'll let you do like a care credit type of thing or something like that. They're not necessarily going to let you go in and just say, hey, I want to make payments. I mean, you got to qualify for these type of things, and it depends on the surgeon as well. I'm not saying they're all the same. But you go in for a consultation, they give you a quick examination, tell you exactly, you know, if you have it or not, what the process is. You know, for me, the options were, you know, you can have anesthesia if you want, or you could stay awake. Now, it's two reasons why I didn't do the anesthesia and I stayed awake. One, the cost, and two, I kind of have this fear of using anesthesia. If I don't have to use it, I really don't want to. I mean, there's always that. The older you get, I remember having finger surgery when I was younger. I had snapped my finger during basketball in high school, and so I had to be put under. I didn't think twice about it, didn't care, or whatever. But the older you get, the more you start to think and the more concerned you get, right? So I wanted to avoid it. I'm not scared of obviously, you see the tattoos. I have a pretty high pain tolerance and pretty good mentality when it comes to things like that. I mean, my body's covered in mine. It's not an issue for me. For some people it may be. So I just stayed awake the whole time. I actually talked to the doctor while they were doing the procedure and everything. No big deal whatsoever. None. But for some people, that's not the case. You can pay for anesthesia, and the price range is going to be different from doctor to doctor. For me, the total cost was $3,500, and this was the best surgeon, highest rated in Las Vegas. I can't say I've used every plastic surgeon there. Number one rated surgeon in Las Vegas. And if anybody wants to ask me, I know surgeons in many states that I can recommend you. Just shoot me a message if you need help, and I can recommend you in a lot of different states. Not all 50, but most. I have a pretty, good familiarity with a lot of good doctors out there, and if not, I can make a couple phone calls and find out. But anyway, $3,500. The procedure itself was less than an hour. Now, of course, you want them to snip your gland if you don't want the gynecomastia to have the opportunity to come back. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. But really, if you don't have anesthesia, you don't even need a ride home. I was a little kind of groggy a little bit after. I remember going to see my wife at work after I was done, because I just wanted to go alone. I was actually, I don't ride a motorcycle anymore, but and I didn't then, but I had gone to the consultation that way, and they were like, don't do that when you come, so I didn't. But I went to see her after I was done, and I just went home and rested. And the recovery time, they tell you, is 4 weeks. So I didn't lift for 4 weeks, although I probably could have. I did start doing cardio again after 3 weeks. just running my basic 5-6 miles a day. I didn't start lifting till 4 weeks out, but the recovery was simple. I don't have one mark on me. None. Zero. No scars. Now, that depends on your surgeon, and that just depends on the person. Sometimes people, just have weird, strange reactions or whatever. Or their skin is a little different. But the surgeon and the technique is more or less the main thing there. I have 0 marks. I don't have one mark on me. None. So don't think that you're going to go in there and necessarily have to have scars all over the place and everything like that. But everything since then has been, straight butter. I don't know how else to put it. No problems, no issues. I feel great. Everything looks great. Obviously everybody wants a more perfect chest, and I could always, say, oh, it's not perfect, but I don't have any issues in terms of deformalities or gynecomastia. It's, it's something that took so much weight off my mind, gives you more confidence. And I know I get a lot of guys that write me that are teens that I just urge you, just talk to your parents and tell them how it's making you feel. Okay? Because some parents don't understand until you actually tell them. And I know it's weird when you're a teen and there's things you don't want to talk about. I'm telling you, most parents, I can't speak for all of them, and I don't know your financial situations, but just tell them how you feel, please. And guys will ask me, well, can I run an anti-gyno protocol if I've had this since puberty? You can, but I don't want anybody to get false hopes, feel misled. The chances of that working to cure it are damn near 0. I've seen very, very few people, and thousands try, that have had it work. It's not likely at all. You're probably just as likely to win the lottery or a fucking $5,000, $10,000 on a scratch-off ticket or something maybe. Just remember that, okay? It's not likely. I just don't want people to have a false hope. You can try. You can definitely try. But I feel that the best bet would be to just go to the surgeon and speak with them and see what they recommend and see what they'll do. Sometimes you get a surgeon that says, oh, it's not that bad, but you tell them how you feel. You tell them how you feel. Because it's your body, it's your choice. But the price ranges are generally in that $2,500 to $5,000 range, depending on the doctor, your location. If you're in the heart of Beverly Hills, it's probably going to be a little bit more money. Okay, you're paying for where you're at, and that's just the way that it is. But like I said, general price range $2,500 to $5,000 normally. Outside of the country, I've seen people have to pay a lot more. I'm speaking in the U.S. only, so guys that are overseas, I've seen guys in Canada pay a lot. Okay, and it just depends. It just depends. But that's general normal pricing. And let me tell you something. It's a very easy procedure, so don't be worried about that. If anybody's scared about that, it's very, very easy. It was simple. I was laughing half the time, and it's no big deal. So you got to fast a little bit before and all that. They go through all that with you. It's just same like normal any other surgery that you go into. So that's it. That's my experience. So hopefully that helps people. That'll put your minds at ease if you're wondering about it. If you're wondering how the procedure works, that's it. It's not that big a deal. So that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli signing off.